hello everyone. How are you? This is Leanne. You're watching Diamonds and Doxies. And I'm going to have to turn on this light. There we go. So I can see a little bit better. So anyway, I just my brain just went off. Anyway, I am working on, this is called, hang on, let me find her. Here she is. She is called Mrs Winter Gnome. That's her. From Craft Buddy, Crystal Art, and it's a good size. As you can see, it's a decent size. It's 30 by 7 centimeters by 15.5 centimeters. And I do not know what that is in inches, so yeah. We were never taught that in school. It's been a long time since I was in school. So anyway, how are you doing? I'm glad you're here. If you're new, hi, welcome. I'm glad that you found me. I hope you enjoy the channel, and I hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you're not new, well, hello, friends. Welcome back. I'm glad you're back. Yeah, y'all are all so special to me. You really are, not just saying that. So anyway, let's see here. So I told you about my kit. These scissors, which I added them so I could not have to pay shipping from Make Your Own Wall Art, but I'm sure you can get them anywhere. But these are great scissors. They're super, super heavy, and they cut so well. And at first I thought, oh, this is probably something that you could get from Temu, you know. But no, they're great. I love them. So, and then I'm using, this is from Enabler's Outpost. Y'all, this has got, I know I say it every time, but this may be my most favorite pen. I love just all the colors. And I really don't think the camera, excuse me, the camera really does it justice. I don't. But in my multi-placer, which I will not be using because you can't really multi-place on these, is from Diamond Art Club. It's a single thin metal multi-placer. It's the 8-placer. And on this end, I have the single placer from Diamond Art Club as well. These are my favorite. I don't ever intend to change unless someone makes something better, but so far I have not found anything better for me. I have Alien Putty in my multi-placer, and in my single placer, I have blue dots. That's how I like to roll. So anyway, oh, and I want to show you this tray. Isn't this gorgeous? This is a new company, Pucky Pie Pours, and she's got some new stuff out, but I just love this. I just love this. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be buying some more stuff. I think they just released some things. I'm not sure if they've all sold out or not yet, but anyway, well, we're going to start on number 5, which is Crystal. And for whatever reason, the last time, Mr. Winter Gnome, the crystals made my glue dot not last very long, so I hope it doesn't do that on this one. But if it does, I got a gazillion of them, so no big deals. So anyway, I got all 3 dogs in here with me. Max is gone. He had to go to a meeting, so he's gone for a little bit. So I thought, well, you know, since I'm home, just me and the dogs, home alone, and I always feel so, I don't know, self-conscious filming a video. I mean, I have the door shut when, you know, when he's in there, but still you can hear me, right? And I feel very self-conscious because I feel like, you know, what are you doing? Talking to yourself? But anyway, so he's gone, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to use this time to talk to y'all, see what y'all have been up to. So I'm happy to report I finally surpassed 3,000 view hours. Amazing. I can't, that is just absolutely amazing. And of course, that's thanks to y'all. I mean, not me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. It has everything to do with y'all. And When I started filming this, I had 447 subscribers. So getting closer to 500. You know, it seems to go up and then it goes down and then it goes up and then it goes down. So, you know, who knows when 500 will happen. But that's my next milestone. So, yeah. So, yeah, it does make me feel good. You know, it shouldn't, you know, I shouldn't get my self-worth, you know, based on silly numbers. But, and I don't, okay, I don't get my self-worth, for goodness sakes. But it does make me feel good, you know. And then, of course, the other side of that is if my subscribers go down, then I'm like, oh, no, was it, you know, they hate me now. You know, did I say something? Did I do something? Or, you know, do I just bore people? Does my voice get on people's nerves? Because I've always kind of felt like it did. But, you know, which is silly because, you know, people's tastes change. I mean, I you know, quit subscribing to channels because I'm like, okay, well, you know, my tastes have changed and I'm not, you know, I'm not interested in that anymore. So why, if you got out of diamond painting, why would you follow a diamond painting channel, right? So, yeah. So I need to look at it more that way. Okay, let's get you off of there. So I really do like these craft buddies. And then I just found out today, you know, my goodness, this month, y'all, it is flying. Oh, my word, is it flying. But anyway, I just found out today that Mindy over at Mindy's Diamond Moments, I think. I always get her group name and her YouTube channel name confused. But anyway, it's November. And I'm like, dude, I've already finished one and I'm working on another. So obviously, I'm not going to, you know, I will post in her group on Facebook, you know, just to help support because I'm already doing it. But I won't, you know, try to get prizes or anything like that because I don't need anything. Speaking of not needing anything, though, goodness me. So last year was my first year to get an advent calendar. I've never bought any kind of advent calendar. Never really understood them. I didn't grow up with them. So it really wasn't something that, you know, was on my radar of something I need to have. I mean, I thought it was just like a way to count down to Christmas, you know. But now they've got like goodies in there, right? You know, you're like, it's a surprise. Woohoo, what did I get? What did I get? And so last year I did get a Diamond Art Club Advent calendar. And I thought, oh, I'm spending a lot of money. But y'all, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And there were, you know, a couple of things that I was like, I don't really want this or need this or whatever. And I did sell them. So, you know, I think 2 things. Then I was like, I don't really, I'm good with not having it. But everything else I just love. In fact, I still have a few things that I haven't done from last year's Advent calendar. But I absolutely love it. It reminds me when I was a kid, I like to collect rocks, and, you know, they'd have these gem and mineral and rock shows and stuff at the mall, and I'd go, and they'd have a grab bag, you know, I don't know, maybe it was $1, something like that, and you could get all kinds of stuff. Most of it was me, you know, but sometimes you got cool stuff, but it was the surprise of it, right? It was the surprise of it. And so that's what this kind of reminds me of. However, unlike last year, I don't believe that last year that Diamond Art Club announced what was in it. They did this year. And you know, you can't please everybody. I get that. I mean, a couple people are like, you know, fine. You know, that takes the fun out of it. And I can see where they're coming from. But then you've got a bunch of people that are like, I don't like surprises. I want to know if I'm spending that kind of money. I want to know if it's something I want, you know. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I get both sides. I do. I get both sides of it. But it is kind of fun when you don't know what you're going to get, you know, for me, you know, for me. But still, even knowing what I'm getting, I don't know what it looks like, right? So, yeah. So tomorrow morning, today is Wednesday afternoon, so tomorrow morning I'm gonna hopefully get one. Cross my fingers and hopefully they ordered enough. You know, so they'll last for a little bit anyways. That would be nice. So yeah, how about y'all? Are y'all planning on getting one of those? You know, I just now remembered, last year I also bought from Creations More In, her advent calendar of putties. And it was like the whole month of December, every day was a different putty. And some of them I still haven't even opened. I mean, yeah. So that was fun too. I enjoyed that. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if any other companies do advents. Because like I said, I do enjoy it. But, you know, I don't want one that does chocolate or liquor or any of that. Because, honestly, well, first of all, I don't want to do any liquor or anything. But I don't want to do candy or chocolate because what if I don't like it, you know? So, because I'm kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a purist when it comes to chocolate, but I don't like chocolate dipped fruits or, you know, or I don't like nuts in my chocolate. I like caramel. I like milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, but outside of that, yeah, I mean, I do like Reese's peanut butter cups, but I hate coconut. I mean, ooh, cannot do coconut. No way, no how. Not my jam. And then just something about, it's not that I don't, now I do like peanut M&Ms. I do like those. It took me a long time to like them, but I do like them. But like a Payday or something like that, I just can't. It's a texture thing. It's not a taste thing. It's not, because I do like the taste, but it's a texture thing. Coconut, I don't even like the way it smells. So anyway, I wouldn't do an advent calendar like that, or even, you know, I've seen them with, you know, hot cocoa, and it's like, again, you know, cocoa's pretty basic, you know, don't really want any funny stuff happening to my hot chocolate, so, yeah. Okay, let's see, I gotta come over here to this is the stand, and even this, I mean, this is solid wood. I know I've told you that before, but if you're new, oh, and by the way, I always forget this, always. This is a WIP and chat, so WIP, W-I-P, is a work in progress. My work in progress is, so far, has been diamond painting, and it will probably always be that for the most part. Your WIP can be, you know, a craft project. Whenever I was having to pack and move from my house, I would take my iPad into my closet where I was purging and packing and listen to them while I was doing that, or, you know, packing up any room. You could also, you know, going for a walk, or, you know, going to the grocery store, driving in your car, whatever you want to do. I mean, when I listen to WIP and chats, I use them as a podcast. I don't necessarily watch watch the video, I just listen. But now when I first started diamond painting, I did watch, because I didn't really know what I was doing. And so I learned by watching people as they diamond painted, because you can tell me something, and I, you know, always say I'm from Missouri. I'm not, I'm from Texas, but, you know, I'm from the show me state. I'm not, I'm just using that as an example. I mean, I have to be shown. Words just, it's hard. You know, I don't know why. I've always been that way. I do better with examples. So, yeah. So you do it however you want to. There's no wrong way or right way. Just do it. Yeah. just enjoy yourself, however that is. And if you're having a great day, I'm so happy for you. My day so far, in this afternoon, but so far is going well. We haven't had any rain. That's good. We had the guy out, you know, we're still working on remodeling our house and renovating and all that good stuff. And the guy was out there this morning to measure for the countertops. So that's awesome. And then the guy from the generator company is coming out to pour the slab to set the generator on. So progress. Yeah, so that's good. Oh, and then went and set up some more of my bird feeders, excuse me, today. And my son, or our son, Jacob, went with us and helped us. So that was good. That was good. We went, had breakfast, a late breakfast. And yeah, so it was all good. And let's see. No plans. I doubt that we'll go back to the house today, just because it's going to be kind of late. I mean, Max probably won't be home until after 4. So, yeah, it's kind of late. And, you know, it's kind of the traffic time. So, yeah, it probably won't. But we went over there this morning, and y'all, I had went to the Wild Birds Unlimited yesterday, and I bought some new feeders and some bark butter, because I was going to make bark butter, and I was like, well, what if they don't like it? So let me, instead of going through all that trouble of, you know, making it, buying all the ingredients to make it, because it also sounded kind of messy. They had some for like 18 bucks, and I was like, okay, or maybe, was it 18 or 16? No, 12 or 18, I cannot remember. Jeez, numbers. But anyway, so I bought a special feeder to put it on and hung it up. Bought a little hook to hang up the thing on. Y'all, we got over there today. The bird bath, the concrete bird bath, the top of it was turned over, laying upside down. And that bird feeder, the bark butter feeder, was laying on the ground with all the bark butter gone. And then I had also bought a new mealworm feeder. That thing was on the ground with all the worms gone. And only thing we can figure out, because, you know, some of that's kind of heavy. So, you know, I could see a squirrel getting to the bark butter. That's definitely possible. And just knocking down the mealworm feeder just to be ornery. But the bird bath, no. No, that, I feel confident we have some raccoons. So, yeah, I feel confident that we have some raccoons. So, you know, we have internet there, but we just don't have it hooked up. I mean, I'm paying for it, but we need to get someone out to run, because we don't want the router to go, or the modem, whatever it's called, to go where these people had it. I mean, they literally had it running by a window. They drilled a hole by this window into the brick that goes inside the living room. And it's like, no, it's not what we want. So I want to get someone to come out. I want it in a central location in the house. So I need to find a networking service, you know, that does that. But anyway, we need to do that, because I'd like to set up, I've got cameras that will look outside. So I'd like to see, you know, what it is. I'm pretty sure that it is those silly raccoons. Because squirrels could knock a lot of that stuff over, but not the bird bath. Excuse me, not the bird bath. So, yeah. Then I've got another bird feeder that I want to get put up too. I have 2 that have cameras attached to them, so you can watch from, you know, you can look at your app and see what was on there or whatever. But again, like I said, I don't have internet right now. But I can go ahead and set up the stand. Because this one that I just recently bought, it was to replace one. That's how I got started on these with the cameras in them. Is my son gave me one for Christmas last year. Best Christmas present I ever got. Most thoughtful Christmas present. It's just awesome. But it was made out of wood. And so I had a baffle on there to keep the rats out, but the rats could jump from the fence. I guess it was too close to the fence, and they could jump over to it. And so I quit putting bird seed in it. You know, I was like, oh, the rats are out of control. So I quit putting bird seed in it. Well, those little boogers were not going to be deterred, and they chewed up that bird feeder. You know, it's got a solar panel to charge the battery for the camera. They chewed through the wire, so ruined that, and then just gnawed through the wood, and they just ruined it. I mean, it had to be thrown away. So the new one I got, I hated getting rid of it because I don't like getting rid of anything that my kids give me. It's like, nope, this is sentimental. I don't care what it is. They gave it to me. I shall keep it forever. But this would have been just ridiculous to keep. So I went and bought me another one, but from Wild Birds Unlimited, but it is plastic. So hopefully that will keep the other one I bought that was plastic. You know, I got a baffle for it too, and the rats couldn't get to it. So hopefully all the other critters can't get to it either. So, but yeah, I got a lot of stuff over there yesterday. They were having a sale, so I'd already bought some peanut pieces, and I bought a special feeder for the woodpeckers and, you know, all the things that like peanuts, but it's got one of those things so it goes by weight, and it'll close if a squirrel gets on there. So, because I don't mind feeding the squirrels, but the thing is the squirrels will eat all of the bird seed, and then when all that's gone, eat what you put out there for them. So, and it's just too expensive. But I do love my squirrels. They're so cute. I'm pretty sure I won't be liking them, though, once the dogs get there, because I'm pretty sure they're going to torment the dogs. I had a boxer, and she could catch a squirrel, and she killed most of them. But one got a hold to her, and on her little fat lips, and put its teeth in like that and went through her lip. And so she was out there slinging that thing to all be darned, and it wouldn't let go. And so Max had to get out there and, you know, take care of the squirrel so we could get it off of her mouth. And then I had to take her in to the vet. She had to get antibiotics. She had to get stitches. It was just like, oh. And then I was like, you know, okay, don't like you squirrels. You cost me a whole lot of money just now. So, yeah. So hopefully we don't have that with dachshunds, because my boxer was much bigger. Much, much bigger. So it'll be interesting. We haven't ever been there at night. So, you know, but I'm pretty sure there's raccoons. I'm sure there's possums too. Possums can, you know, kind of be bad too. I love possums. They're not bad, but as far as tormenting the dogs, because they'll just play dead, and then the dogs just won't stop barking. You have to go out there and bring them in, and that's going to be quite the challenge with this size of the yard. I have a feeling at some point we may fence in part of the yard that they can't get out to the other parts, you know, just so it's be easier to go out there and call them to get them in. Because if they go to the other side, oh my word. What are you dogs doing? Yeah, we may never get them in. Not without physically walking all the way out there and insisting that they come in. And, you know, at 2 a.m., might not be very fun. But I've been getting a lot of birds, and that makes me happy. So it just feels like, even though stuff is happening, maybe because we go there every single day, sometimes twice a day, you know, we're really not seeing it happening as quick as we would like, because it just seems like, hurry up, slow down. Although they looked like they were getting ready to paint. They had the paint sprayer. They brought in the paint sprayer. So that's good. That's something, right? I don't know. I forgot to ask him if the wood floor had come in. I need to ask him that. Because that was, we were waiting on it, but I think he did get a hold of the manufacturer, and they said it would be here within a week, and that was over a week ago, week and a half ago, so it should be here then, right? So I need to ask him that. Oh yeah, and then we went yesterday, and we got there, and he was like, "You need to come see this," and I was like, "What?" So some of our doors are leaking. Yeah, some of them are leaking. Our front door, and I'm so glad he caught it, because that's where we were putting wood. And that would have been really, really bad, because we had some rain and some wind. So it may not happen unless it's wind-driven rain, but we're going to have wind-driven rain. So, you know, I'm glad it happened before. But he was like, I don't know if it's this causing it or that causing it, but there was already some rot in the door on the bottom. So it was like, let's just replace the door. And he was like, well, if we replace the door, then we know we fix it. So I was like, well, yeah, then let's do that. I don't want to, this isn't something I want to play with, because who knows when it may rain again, you know? We don't know. So, or when we have blowing rain, who knows? So do I have any 4s over here? Nope, I do not. Y'all see any 4s that I might be missing? Oh, I do. I see 2, no, 3. 3 of them. There we go. Oh gosh, I wonder if my head is getting into these shots. If it does, I apologize. Okay. Oh God, Liam, why? Why are you yawning? You have no reason to yawn. None whatsoever. Okay, there's that. Let's see, where's a G? Here's G. Look at all these pinks. They look so similar to me, but they're not. Alrighty. Hey, have y'all looked at Home Shopping Network? They got a lot of diamond painting kits, a lot of Diamond Art Club, and there's some diamond dots on there as well. I think that was all I saw. Oh, but there's some new, oh goodness. There is some new Diamond Art Club. And they still have a stocking and a gingerbread house, 3D gingerbread house. And if I'm not mistaken, when I looked, they had been reduced in price. Then they also had some diamond paintings. So if you haven't been over there, give them a look-see. I'm always looking for ways that, you know, especially for Diamond Art Club, because sometimes you just want a small kit. You don't want to spend a lot of money, and you don't want to pay $10 for shipping. You know, that's what it is here in the U.S. So you don't really want to do that. So going to Amazon or Home Shopping Network are always good alternatives, you know? Good alternatives. I mean, I know a lot of people want to get the points, and I get that. But if you're just buying, you know, a $20 canvas or $25 canvas. It's okay. You know, it's not that many points. If I'm just going to spend 75, you're darn tootin'. I want my points. I need to check too, because I did place an order and it had shipped immediately, but I need to look at the tracking info because I haven't gotten it. And I'm used to when they ship something, because they're in Texas, it gets here like within a day. So this was several days ago. But I don't really care for their new shipping company, On Track. I don't know. I'm sure they're cheaper, and it's a good way to cut costs. And I totally understand that. But most of the time, it won't even say that. It'll just say label created. And, you know, it makes it look like that Diamond Art Club hasn't actually shipped it. And a couple of times I actually sent them a message and said, hey, you know, you said you shipped it, but they're saying they haven't gotten it. And they were like, oh, we checked. It's on the way. And now, lo and behold, it'll be there later that day. And I'm like, okay, you know, why aren't you updating so you never can get like a estimated arrival date, you know, or delivery date. But like I said, as long as I get it, doesn't matter. Yeah. If it keeps costs down, then that's fine too. What are y'all doing? You're in here doing something, and I'm hearing little things, and it's like, is that y'all? Doesn't take much to freak me out, I tell ya. So, I know not everyone celebrates Thanksgiving. I know Canada has their own Thanksgiving, and they've already had theirs. But apparently, it's coming up pretty darn quick. So, I was hoping to be in our house, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Tomorrow, we're going to celebrate Max's birthday. On the 10th, he will be 60. And Jacob, our youngest, is going to be out of town for 3 days, including his birthday, for something to do with the fire department. It's a search and rescue conference thing, but they have hands-on training and whatnot. So he's going to be doing that. So we decided to celebrate with the family a little early. So we're going tomorrow for lunch. And I don't know if my daughter was coming along with my grandson and my son-in-law. Then she called today and said, well, may not be there because her youngest, Alex, if you're watching this, he does watch some of my videos, and occasionally he comments, I love you and I hope you're feeling better. But his mama had to go get him from school today because he had a fever. So they did test him for COVID and flu A and B, and he was negative for all of those. So that's good, but you know, it could be a sinus infection or who knows. I guess if he's not better tomorrow, they'll take him to the doctor and make sure, you know, that it's not something that he needs to be on antibiotics for. But, I mean, I don't know what's going around. I don't know if it's time for strep. But, I think his throat would be hurting if he had strep. But I know when my kids were in school, you could just count on it every year. By, you know, with the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, because we were a family of 5, it would just start working its way through the whole family. And we did that every year until Jacob was probably in 3rd grade. It was like, well, somebody's going to be sick. One year, they all had the chicken pox. And this is how I found out that I must have had the chicken pox as a child, because no one, I don't remember ever having them. No one ever remembered me having them. And so I talked to my doctor. I was like, I've never had chicken pox. And he said, well, you know, you probably did, but you know, you can get like one of those little sores like in your hair, and maybe you just didn't get sick, you know, and so no, you would never know, you know, that you did. I was like, okay. So I guess I did, because I never got chicken pox. But then Max Sr., he got the flu while the kids had chicken pox. And this was for Christmas. And so I was the only one that was well. So I went over to my mother-in-law's and packed up some food that she had cooked and took it home. And that's how we celebrated, because, you know, we were planning on going to her house. So, yeah. But no, we did that a couple of times. But that's just part of having kiddos. You just never know. Yeah, and I went ahead and got the shingles vaccine. I hadn't necessarily planned on it, but I had like 2 or 3 friends right around the same time get the shingles. And they were like, oh my God, you know, if you have a chance, get the vaccine. Get the vaccine. But apparently it was it was bad. And it can actually do nerve damage. I didn't know that. So anyway, I did. And boy, y'all, that shingles vaccine messed me up. Made me sick. Had a fever, everything. It was terrible. I was under the weather for quite a while. Yeah, when my kids were growing up, they didn't have the vaccine for chickenpox. In fact, when I was growing up, you know, parents would like go hang out with whoever has a chickenpox so you can get over it. You know, you can get it and get done. You know, they try to plan chickenpox parties, you know. But I did know someone that son, when he was 3, had gotten chickenpox, and it caused him to have a stroke. So, you know, I guess there are some side effects from getting the chickenpox. So I don't know. But yeah, mine had already had chickenpox by the time, you know, the vaccine came out. And we weren't required anyway, because Jacob was born, I think, the year before. It was required. Oh no, what is this? Oh, this is H. And I did G, and I didn't even look over here. Look at all these G's. G. But there's no H's. I don't see any H's, so this is H. And yes, I will go back and do the G's, because although these bags are just, they're sitting over there just opened, you know, and I don't want anything to accidents, you know. I don't, because there is a DMC on here, but I don't have any of my drills. They're in storage. So any of my spares are in storage. So, you know, better be safe than sorry. So I'll go back and I will do these G's. It's a pretty pink. Oops. So, have y'all bought anything? I haven't seen, other than the Advent calendar, I have not seen Diamond Art Club post anything. So I don't know, you know, if they're gearing up for Black Friday, because they do usually release a lot on Black Friday, don't they? All I know is my first Black Friday was, it'll be 2 years ago this. Leanne, what did you do? Yep, put it in the wrong place. Um, they put out a lot. And I mean, I went diamond my very first Black Friday. It was only my second Diamond Art Club purchase too. But I know I will be more selective this year. So, but maybe they're, you know, not having as many previews because they're gearing up for that. I don't know. I mean, that's a couple of weeks away. But I don't know. Because I thought someone said they had like 100 new releases. I don't remember. You know, that's the kind of stuff I don't know. I don't keep up with. In fact, a lot of people know what they got for Black Friday, and I really don't. I'd have to go back and look at my orders and see. I know that I ordered, well, I did Cyber Monday and Black Friday, and I ordered 2 of the same kit twice. It's like, oh my gosh. And I didn't know then that you could return them. So I just ended up destashing the extras for less than I paid, you know. So, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I hear, oh, it's, gosh, lady's walking her. I think it's one of those, Malinois. Is that how you pronounce it? Those police dogs. She's walking one. It's a big old pup. And he seems very well trained. Unlike my heathens. My heathens are not very well trained. I am very well trained. They are not. Been trying to talk my son into getting another cat because I get all these, you know, I follow all these different rescues and shelters and stuff, and there's always an overabundance of cats. You know, I don't know if it's just because so many people don't spay or neuter their cat and they let them go outside, which is just, oh boy, I see an H. Where? Oh, here it is. Which, you know, yeah, causes a lot of unwanted pregnancies. So cats are just, so many cats get euthanized. It's sad for any of them. Okay, where did I see you, H? Oh, right here. Okay, I've just confused myself like you would not believe. Yep, just totally drew a blank on my brain. But anyway, so there's just so many cats that are euthanized or mistreated or, you know. We had, I say we, in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in for a neighboring town, this lady always, you know, was like rescuing cats, and someone had posted that they were having to get their life together, and they had 2 cats, and they wondered if somebody would be willing to take care of them for 30 days until they got moved and settled and, you know, could pick them up. So one person said, sure, I'll take one. And this other lady, who was actually an admin of the group, said, I will take the other one. I'll meet you, though. She didn't want her coming to her house. She's like, I'll meet you, like at the dollar store or something, and get the cat from you. Well, then the time passed, and she was like, okay, I'm ready to get my cats back. And the first lady, absolutely, here you go. Second lady was like, you know, first wouldn't answer her, then blocked her, and then, you know, so she went over, she found out where she lived, and she went over to her house, and the lady was like, I don't know where your cat is, it's gone. And the lady started looking around. It was like a hoarding situation. And there were all these animal crates just stacked on top of each other, just laying out willy-nilly. And they all had cat carcasses. Some were just skeletons. Some were, you know, recently deceased. Some were kind of mummified. But basically, she took these cats, kept them in a crate, and just didn't feed them. You know, just they died. They suffered is what they did. They suffered. And so she called the police, and the police came out, and she was like, "You can't be on my property. Get off of my property." And they noticed a horse that was in horrible shape. It was on the verge of dying. It was just ribs. And then they noticed another horse out there that had died. So they called in animal control, and animal control came and got the horse that died, and then got the malnourished horse that was on the verge of dying, and took it. Well, then, you know, our local news got involved, and her house was full of dead cats, just full of dead cats, and all of these cans of cat food. I guess people had donated cat food. And she was constantly reaching out, you know, like shelters were being like, you know, we're over capacity. We cannot take any more cats until we find homes. And so she would be the good Samaritan, you know, and be like, oh, you know, I will keep them until, you know, you can find them a home. And, you know, these different rescues admitted that they never actually went to her house to check her out, you know, to see if she was legit. I see some J's that I missed. And, you know, and I guess, you know, the shelters and the rescues and all that were probably like, you know, we're just happy somebody will take them, because it's really hard to find people to take cats. Because like I said, there are so many unwanted cats. And yeah, I don't know what the heck, but yeah. And she is definitely, obviously, mentally ill. But I'm sorry, that does not excuse the behavior. And I thought for sure she would get felony animal cruelty charges. I mean, come on, that's cruelty. That wasn't neglect. That was you put them in a crate and you left them in there. Some of them were in your house where you slept, and you had the radio going and the music, you know, the music playing and the fans going, and you slept in there with them. You know they were crying, you know. I mean, no, this wasn't, oops, I forgot to feed my cat. This was, you didn't even give them a chance. Why not? I mean, they did manage to get some cats that had escaped, you know, rounded up. And then I should also tell you, the girl who went to go get her cat, she never did find her cat. So she's pretty sure it's probably one of the dead ones. But, you know, you didn't just forget to feed your cat. I mean, you chose. I mean, I would have thought it would have been better just to release them all into the wild, because cats can fend for themselves. I mean, they can. They have that ability to do that. You didn't even give them a chance. You know, you were their judge, jury, and executioner. And anyway, she got a fine, but I'm like, no. So I think some people are trying to, I don't know, try to see if they can't get more, which I think she should. I mean, I think she should be in a mental institution. I really do. And it's funny because as an admin of that group, she had last year had posted a thing saying that any more suspected animal cruelty cases would not be allowed in the group. So don't post any. She would not allow it. I'm like, really now? Were you afraid you were going to get found out? And what's crazy is so many people defended her. So many people. I couldn't believe it. They're like, well, you know, there's two sides to every story. No. I mean, yes, there are two sides to every story. But when you have 200 cats, that's about how many they counted, that have died in a crate. I mean, what could be that story? I mean, what would be her story that would make you go, oh, okay, well, she didn't mean to. I mean, what would do that for you? I don't get it. You know, it's not like there was one cat, you know. No, there were a bunch. And she'd been doing it for years. Not to mention the horse that had died, and the other one that was just ribs. All you could see was its spine and its ribs. So forget about that. You know, what do you need? What proof do you need? I don't understand. I mean, say I'm shocked. I thought she was a friend, but I never, you know, I never went to her house, so I didn't know this was going on. You know, but how can you defend somebody like that? I don't understand. I don't know. I think I've talked about it before. It just really bugs me, though. It just really bugs me. So I don't know what they're going to end up doing about her. They're just some wackadoo people out there, y'all. Just wackadoo people. And in other news, there's a hurricane. I think it's hitting Cuba right now. But it's supposed to be in the Gulf. And I'm like, excuse me. No. It's not hurricane season anymore. I mean, technically it is. But we've never, in recorded history, have had a hurricane this late. And it's like, oh, you know how they always say, well, there's always a first time. There's a reason why hurricane season goes until November 30th. But come on, man. Come on. You know, they said at the beginning of hurricane season that it was going to be a busy one. They were not lying. They were not lying. But if it is, hopefully it's just a little tiny baby one. But I really would like my house to get completed. You know? Oh, I just realized something. Once I finish with these eyes over here, this will be it for the stand. That's good. That's good to know. The dogs will probably start talking to me in a little bit because I eat at 4 and it is 3:38. And yeah, they don't let you forget. They don't let you forget when it's time for TREATS's or BONES's or DINNER. And I'm going to be in trouble if they ever learn to spell. Maggie's a little diva. She won't eat with the other dogs, no, because they eat off the floor. I have to sit there with her kibble on the couch, and first I have to start teasing her like you would a toddler, like, you know, bzzz, you know, trying to get her interested in the food. Once she eats a piece, then she'll start eating, but it's one piece at a time, only on the couch, and only if I sit there with her. And you might think, well, if you would just leave her, she'd get hungry and she would eat. Well, she might, but then Snoopy and Gus would have eaten her food, so that won't work. She'll get skinnier and they'll get fatter, neither of which is ideal. So, but even her TREATS's, I have to, You know, I always tell her, you know, here you go, milady. She's like, I'm not like them. They are dogs. But we'll have to come up with something different once we move, because right now the couch is right there by where their food bowls are, so it's not that big of a deal. But I am, you know, I'm going to start working on getting her to eat closer, like maybe sit on the hearth, which is right by their food, and feed them. Maybe she'll eat from there. It's just, I tell you, dogs. They are something else. And Max was so worried, you know, he's like, when we live together, I'm afraid Maggie's going to sleep with you and I won't have a dog to sleep with. And I was like, dude, you're going to have 3 dogs to sleep with. He's like, no, they'll sleep, yours will sleep with you, but I think Maggie's going to want to sleep with you. Well, guess what? All 3 dogs want to be right up against him. And I am okay with that, as long as he can sleep. But I said, you know, whoever, you know, you see these things, people who sleep with dogs sleep better. No, they don't. Now, a dog may have written that, but you may feel more secure going to sleep. But I guarantee you, you wake up a lot more than you would if you didn't sleep with dogs. Because, you know, they move, and then they got to shake their head, you know, shake their head all about. And then they got to circle all around again, you know, because they think they live in a grass field or something. I don't know. And it's like, God, please just stop. Or, you know, they decide they need to lick themselves. That's always fun and exciting. It's like, stop it. I hate that smacky sound anyway. It's like one of my pet peeve sounds. I can't stand it. Like nails on a chalkboard, which I also do not like, but that's what it reminds me of. And I'm such a light sleeper anyway. I guess if you were a sound sleeper, it wouldn't matter. But I've often thought, you know, I'm going to get a camera and put it on me while I sleep so I can see just how often these dogs wake me up. But I love them. And, you know, it's my fault. I mean, Snoopy came to me crate trained. I mean, he could have slept in the crate, but I mean, Lily was crate trained. And she did the first year of her life. She slept in a crate at night. But then I was like, oh, you know what? I think I'll let her sleep with me one night. And, you know, started doing that about every other day. I'd let her sleep with me until it got to where it's like, no, she can just sleep with me. And, yep. So when Snoopy came along, it was like, well, I'm not going to make him sleep in the crate. Well, she sleeps with me. That's not nice. Besides that, it's like we're a pack. We all sleep together. So we tried putting Snoopy, because Snoopy's bigger, and he wants, instead of laying long ways in the bed, he wants to lay this way, right? And it's like, dude, the bed's not that big, and you're, you know, he's a dachshund. He's got a long body. And he's a standard dachshund, really. I mean, he's supposed to be a miniature, but he's standard. Anyway, I mean, because he weighs 24 pounds, so. But, you know, we tried putting him in the crate, and he did. He did fine. The first 2 nights, not a bobble. And then I guess he just decided this is BS. Everybody else is in the big bed. I want to be in the big bed. So here we are. I told Max today, I said, okay, I'm officially ready for a trip. Because he was like, are we not going to go anywhere this fall? And I'm like, no. You know, we're trying to build a house, or not build a house, but, you know, remodel and selling. I was like, I ain't got time to think about a vacation. And now I'm like, I want to go somewhere. I just want some time without dogs. But I don't think we will. Well, first of all, we only have one place that will board them, and it's the holiday season, so they book up real fast. Although I guess I could call them and ask if they had any, like, you know, 4-day weekend, or even a week during the week, you know, 4 days during the week that's not, you know, Thanksgiving or something. Well, I guess I could do that. We could just drive for a day and, that gives me an idea. That would be fun. Get away. Because in this spring, I really do want to go on a trip. And we're really, I think, looking at, oh, I'm not ready to get rid of it, but I am finished with the base, so that's good. Okay. We are seriously looking at going to Kentucky. That's something we have started doing the last, I don't know, 3 trips, maybe 4 trips, is like really exploring an area. Instead of like going to that state, seeing that, and then leaving, you know, like, nope, we're going to go to this state and we're going to spend all our time driving around this state, seeing what all this state is about. And we did that with Arkansas, and that was a lot of fun because, you know, we had been to Hot Springs and Eureka Springs many times, but it was like, no, we want to see all of this. And we did go into Branson, you know, to Missouri, but we really haven't seen all of Missouri either. We've only seen that small part, and we really liked it. But, you know, Kentucky is kind of up there, so yeah, we might cross over just to see a little bit. I don't know. Just depends on how much there is to do in Kentucky, but it looks like a place that we would both like. You know, we're more into nature. Yeah, I'm not really into big cities. So I would kind of like to go see their bluegrass and the mountains and stuff. Because those are my favorite things. And while I do like going to the beach sometimes, I really prefer mountains. But we were also talking about that, going back to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and then really going into like Pensacola. But, you know, we've done that. Well, we didn't go. We went into Pensacola, but we didn't. Did we? No, I don't think so. We just went into Florida because it's right there off of Alabama. But we have been to Florida, so we went all the way to the Florida Keys. And that's a long drive. It's like driving across Texas. So, except they don't really have any mountains. We do. So, not where we live, but you can't drive through Texas and not hit mountains. So, let's see. Okay, now we're doing O's. So anyway, but yeah, I'm ready. But I wouldn't mind going to, like, Wimberley. That might be kind of fun. I don't know. Might be kind of fun to go get some, you know, it's just for a long weekend, or, like I said, during the week, and maybe find some unique Christmas gifts or something. We stayed in a cabin one time. It was so cute, so cute. The area is so beautiful. It's the hill country. I love the hill country. Love it. That would be, you know, if I ever won the lottery, I would definitely have a place in the hill country. But we could even go to Kerrville. I like Kerrville. Or Bernie. Bernie would be fun. I don't know. I'm gonna have to give that some more thought, because yeah, it would be kind of nice to take a break from everything for a little bit. Just a little bit, not very long. Let's run it past Max. I know he'll be getting, because he's already been like, are we ever going to go anywhere again? Because we were trying to go twice a year, you know, spring and fall, because, well, winter, yeah, no. And then summer is just, it's too hot, and that's when everything is so crowded. But we don't have kids in school anymore, so we can go whenever the heck we want. That's why I'm like, we can go Monday through Thursday. It's fine with me. You know, it doesn't have to be a weekend. So we have that luxury. And we prefer to go when it's less crowded. So, I don't know. And he doesn't fly. Man, speaking of flying, I looked at airline tickets to go to Richmond, Virginia in, I think it's July when the retreat is. Y'all, well, first of all, Southwest, all of them have stops. You have to stop somewhere. And so it makes the day long. And I don't like, when I go on an airplane, I want to go and get there. If at all possible, I want to go and get there. And these all have to change planes, not just like you sit and wait for a minute, but you got to get off the airplane, make a mad dash, and then there's, you know, even better chance of your luggage getting lost. So then I looked at United, because I've got almost 1 million miles with them. So the airport's further away from me by quite a bit. I mean, 30-minute drive versus an hour and 15-minute drive, you know. But I could absolutely fly for free. But my word, they don't really have any that, I didn't see any that you could just use with points. I need to look again. And of course, it's way early, and, you know, I'm sure things will change. And I'll have to keep an eye out. But, man, some of them are just the most stupidest thing I ever heard of. So from Houston to go to Richmond, Virginia, one of the flights took you to Denver and then to Richmond. And I'm like, I don't understand this. This does make zero sense to me. Zero. I mean, it was like an 8-hour travel day. And I'm like, you could go nonstop from Houston to Richmond quicker than you could from, you know, Denver to Richmond. So, I don't know. But Virginia's another place I want, because I was looking at all the things around there, and I'm like, oh man, I really want to go. And, you know, and we talked about, well, we could drive, because Max doesn't fly. We could drive, and then we could go sightseeing. But the problem is he couldn't be a part of the diamond painting thing. So he would be, you know, just cooling his jets in the hotel room, and, you know, and that's not really something, you know, that he wants to do. And then I wouldn't feel comfortable, because I'd be constantly like, is he okay? Is, you know, is he bored? Is, you know, no one wants to go sit in a hotel. Not just for, you know, not for 4 or 5 days, you know. So, but definitely I want to go back to Virginia, because there's so much to see and do there. So, I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, Jamestown is right there. I really want to go see that. But, yeah, that'll have to be for another day. Are any of y'all going to the retreat in Richmond, Virginia? I'm really looking forward to it. This is my first retreat, but I am looking forward to it. I got my room booked, got me a king-size bed. Sure do. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be sprawled out in that thing. I'm loving it. Loving every minute of it. With all the pillows, and I'll probably ask for extra pillows, because I like to sleep with 4 pillows, and I can't do that now. So I'll be like, give me all the pillows, and all you people stay over there. Here's my big old bed. So, yep. Now the dogs are starting to look at me, so I think I will try to finish this if they don't bother me. Oh, get over here. And and then go feed them. I'm coming along on her. So maybe I'll get in here tonight and finish. I really need to catch up more. I'm even a member of Mindy's channel, and I did not know. I haven't watched any videos, any lives or anything. I just haven't. And I need to catch up because I didn't even know anything about November, which is great because I'm working on Gnome. So definitely, I'm not having to force myself to do something. But these are my only 2 gnomes. So. Well, it's starting to cloud up outside. I don't know if we're supposed to get more rain. I'll just be glad when we get cool weather. I mean, it's cooler, don't get me wrong. Better than summer, for sure. But it doesn't really feel like fall. So I wish it would feel more like fall. Like cozy. I like cold nights. You can make cozy with the fireplace. And yeah. But right now, you'd have to turn on the air conditioner to turn on the fireplace. So I'm not above doing that, mind you. But I am looking forward to that. I made chili yesterday though, because it was cold. Well, we were supposed to have a cold front. It was not. It was cool at best, but and rainy. Well, it didn't rain, but I went ahead and prepared for all of it and made chili. Well, Frito pie, whatever you want to call it. And that was yummy. I still have some in the fridge. I might make me that for dinner. Heat that up with some Fritos and cheese and some diced fresh white onions. Nom, 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 nom. I love diced fresh onions. They are so yummy, yummy. For those of you that just do single place, I don't know how y'all do it. You don't have a choice on this, but I get bored with it. I get bored real easily. It's like, ugh, one drill at a time. Of course, I used to only, single place. And I also got very bored with it. In fact, that was what really turned me off to rounds. It was like, I don't ever, did a Chuck Pinson. I was like, never again. It was just, oh. I have done a couple of Chuck Pinsons, but once I learned to multi-place, then I was like, okay. But again, multi-placing, I'd rather multi-place squares. It's like they're just made for it. They're just made for it. Rounds is a little trickier. I mean, you can still do it, but not as, it's harder to do 8 round drills multi-placing than it is 8 square, because they just don't line up the same. Hey, there went my son. I'm getting to where I can tell I'm at the front of the house so I can see the cars go by. And I just saw him drive by. I'm getting to where I can tell the sound of his truck and Max's truck. Max's truck is a GMC, and Jacob's truck is a Ford F-150. I don't know where he's going on a Wednesday. He'll probably be glad that when we don't live here, Oh my God. Because before I would send him a text, where are you going? Or welcome home, because I could see him like headed towards his house. You know, it's like, I need to quit doing that. He's going to be like, gee, Mom, are you a stalker? But I think he likes hanging out with us. He came over last night. Yeah, he's going through a patch. So I'm just grateful that, you know, we have a good relationship. But it's still hard. He's still hard. All right, y'all. I think I am going to call this one for right now. I'll take a break. This hurts my back. So take myself a little break. I'll throw this away. I don't need it anymore. Put this here and here. Over here, and then I'll get these little tabs up, or not tabs, little pieces I cut off. Hey, Maggie. Get some of these drills that didn't belong. There we go. Move those. And yeah, so we're going to call it a day, and I appreciate you being here. And like I said, if you didn't already, please hit the thumbs up. Supposedly it does help the channel. I know people have said that, and they've been doing it longer than me, so I believe them and I trust them. And I hope you'll consider subscribing. I really do, because, you know, I enjoy having you here. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're not having a wonderful day, I hope just hanging out with me made you forget about your bad day. And I hope you have a better day going forward. So anyway, thank y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all later. Okay, everyone.